Welcome to One Book, One Review. There are many books out there on the market and you will never be able to read all of them or like them. So today I want to tell you about some strategies that you can use to find the next book you want to read. My favorite strategy is to choose a book by the cover. I know people say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I can't help it. I just love to browse around a bookstore and see how the cover art and title of the books affect me. I think the cover art makes us notice books, and sometimes we pick up books we wouldn't read any other way. Let me give you an example. My favorite book is The Gargoyle by Andrew Davidson. This book I would have never read with a different cover. I picked it up only because it had burned pages, it was all in red, look at all the arrows on the front, the burning heart and the saying, "Love is as strong as death, as hard as hell." I couldn't resist buying it and I loved it from the first page to the end. There are other books that I picked up only because of their cover. Neil Gaiman, The Graveyard Book. The Curious Incident of the Dark and the Nighttime, Mark Haddon. The History of Love by Nicole Kraus. Before and After by Matthew Thomas. Okay, sometimes choosing the book by its cover is just not enough. You have to look inside. Sometimes I read the first sentence, sometimes I just read somewhere in the middle of it and see how the writing appeals to me. Another strategy to find good books is by author. If you read a good book, look if the author has written something else. Chances are high that you might like his other work as well. There are some authors that I just always buy. You know already of my obsession with Jonathan Safran Foer. The same goes for Terry Pratchett and Graham Swift. I also like to buy books by Mitch Albom and John Green. Another good strategy is to use Amazon to find books. Cross-references. If you type in a book that you really like and scroll down to the section customers who bought this item also bought, you might find some suggestions for books that you might like. Another way that you will always hear is recommendations. Recommendations by friends and family are always suggested to lead to good readings. I'm not so sure about that. Somehow, recommendations hardly ever work for me. For example, all my friends love Der Schwarm by Frank Schätzing, but I couldn't even finish it. I read 500 pages and then stopped. I have a good friend. We try to recommend books to each other, but we never succeed. Usually, if I say she should read something, she doesn't like it. For example, The Boy in the Striped Pajama. She hated it. But the other way around, it doesn't work either. If she recommends books to me, I usually don't like them. Atonement by Ian McEwan. I hated it. But sometimes I can't resist and buy books that she recommended to me. So when I picked up Water for Elephants in a store because I liked the cover and I thought the title was very interesting, I remembered my friend telling me about it. I was skeptical, but I bought it nonetheless, and I really liked it. But it turns out that my friend didn't like the book. The most important part about recommendations is you can never feel bad about books that you don't like. It's okay not to like the book that your best friend likes. Bestseller lists are another strategy. Most bookstores have a section with all the bestsellers. You can check magazines for their recommendations and bestseller lists. Sometimes a lot of people who buy a book are not wrong. You might like it as well. And if you don't know what kind of books to buy, you can always go back to the classics and read books that many generations enjoyed already. So I hope next time you're in a bookstore you have a lot of ideas how to find a new book. Thanks for watching One Book, One Review.